uniformly randomly in search of paradise clarity, and this is when the paradigm is adjacent to memory. And today is February 14th, 2025. This poem was inspired by a series of events, a series of events that occurred, especially the nature of the snow, which, as you know, I think, oh no, not a fan, but it is a natural element of this time and season, the winter. So it was inspired by changing plans because of the snow. It was also inspired by my new algorithm that have occurred on my sleeves and pants, the amount of buttons I wear, unsewing, sewing again. And it also corresponds to today, which is Valentine's. And I started to think about just the word Valentine. And of course, it rhymes with porcupine, which made me go on a huge porcupine hole. Oh, I wouldn't want to be in a porcupine hole because that would be quite spiky. But rabbit hole, if you will, of etymology, the evolution of the porcupine, its relatability to the beaver, and just in general how vast this world is with rodents with sharp spines or quills that protect them against predation. So the capybara, if I'm saying that right, the capybara is the largest living rodent, and then there's the porcupine and the beaver. So it just made me think of just the formation of the porcupine, even because they are what you would consider, the word would be, I'm not going to pronounce it right, but it's spelled aposematism, aposematism, if I'm saying that correctly, aposematism, which is the advertising by an animal, whether terrestrial or marine, to potential predators that it is not worth attacking or eating. And I do think just reading about all this is like, man, this is so interesting because, yeah, like the nature of animals. And that all came through the Valentines. So anyway, let me get to this poem. That is why I wrote this. It is a lot of different rhyming. I'm talking about colors, Roy G. Biv, if you don't know, is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. I almost forgot. I was like, what's the I? Indigo. So that's enough of the explanation. Here's the poem. When the paradigm is adjacent to memory, here we go. As the thunderstorm rolled on by, irrespective of their diligent planning from on high, the sun did not apologize for rising, and neither did the moon for colliding with the tides. Soon, the clouds were envisioning rain, had a timeless refrain which recognized this soiled digress. The access of the wind blew them to the west, and then far down into the ground. Everyone heard and experienced the sound. It went straight into their skin, and then soon within, and whistling for a broader melody, the alarm in the vibration knocked them off of their density, holding tightly to the rubber deep in their souls, beginning then to slip on foes, ice rain and slippery banks edging off the border of frosted thumbs and toenails, finding the words, but most significantly the trails, which contains what is in the exercised capacity, the limits of harvest, and the complexity of algorithm sewn into reusable threads, a lot more of the oranges and reds. However, Roy G. Biv has a lot more to give. For when the paradigm is adjacent to memory, models can be a configured remedy a Valentine's, if not poked by a sudden reaction of porcupined quill transversed in your spine. And that is when the paradigm is adjacent to memory. I do love the word adjacent. It is one of my favorite words. And adjacent is just adjoining, next to. That's all it means. So, like, yeah, when the paradigm, whatever that paradigm is for you, because paradigms are not the same, but paradigms are just models, sort of. So, like, when you can remember a model and you configure it to love, or being poked by a porcupine, or being hit by a Cupid's arrow, I don't know, however you flavor. This is the description of the poem. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, and thank you for listening. Until next time, uniformly, randomly, in search of paradise clarity. Buttons, y'all.